There we go. Hello, and everyone. Welcome to W.Y.S.M, where what you say matters. And today I have the second half. Excuse me. I have the second half to um, Catherine. Yes, I do. To Catherine Denham. I have today here her wife, Mrs. Alisha. I'm sorry, everyone. Alisha Denham. Okay, so
Yeah.
hey, how are you?
Good. I feel like, following Kat up is like, it's like, wow. Man, I told her, I was like, man, bro, I should have went first because she killed it. That was beautiful. You guys, yeah, she threw some amazing stuff out there for you guys.
Cool. Yeah, yes, she did. She threw a lot out there. So I had to make sure that there was enough left for you. gotta make sure that.
Good looking out.
Yeah. Most deaf. Gotta make sure we got enough for you in there, and what it is and what you do.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's get this started. So tell me, how did you transition from being a therapist to an artist?
Yeah.
Tell me about the transition.
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so I was running a group home for adolescent boys in foster care, right? Did that for a couple of years, and I in the process of whenever I was running the group home, I was getting trained in how to do sand tray therapy, right? And I was falling in love with it, and a couple of my boys, they were working with me and doing that thing, and I remember this one kiddo specifically. He was like, "Man, Miss Alisha, I love these little Care Bears you got, and all. It's all cool, whatever. But what I really need is a tornado. Like I've got some big stuff going on inside of me, so I need a tornado, and that's got to happen." And so I was like, okay. So we legitimately just put a pause on what we were doing in the tray. We put it to the side. I grabbed a piece of paper and I rolled it up like a snow cone cup,
Okay.
And we took a hot glue gun and just kind of went around it. Man, 42 million thousand glue sticks around that piece of paper.
Oh wow!
Right? And I grabbed a coaster off of my desk and used it as a base for the tornado that we had just made. We grabbed some spray paint because I was already. I've always been a creative. You know what I'm saying? So I already had like art stuff in my office. So I grabbed a can of spray paint. We went outside, hit it with spray paint, came back, pulled the sand tray out. Boom, we had a tornado. And so after that session, I remember reaching out to a couple of my therapist friends and saying, hey man, check this out. Look at what I just, did with one of my kids in session. We made a tornado for the tray, and they were just like, hey, could you make me one of those? Could you make me one of those? And so it just kind of snowballed from there, if you will. And long story short, I mean, I do still see clients. I do still do therapy one-on-one. I only have a handful of clients that I'm seeing right now because our art business has really taken off, and there's been a great need that we have found in this community to do art. But it really was about meeting a need, seeing a need, meeting it creatively, and then going from there. And so we do art full time. This Mama Alice thing started out we jokingly say it started out as a side hustle and became into our full-time hustle, because there was just not really anybody doing this the way that we were doing. Creating figures and putting them out in the community like that. So it's kind of how it got started and how I ended up doing this full-time, transitioning out of doing therapy full-time.
So would you say that both therapy and as far as being an artist and what you do, do you find both passion in both of them?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
So what I would say about that is we still do a lot of therapeutic communication with people, okay? And so that kind of passion that I have for being a therapist is still met, if you will. Because whenever we are vending and we are at different shows and doing different things in the community with our artwork, our images are very evocative. They're very I think a good piece of art kind of transcends like time and space and culture even, you know, it can reach the masses, if you will, whether, you know, I'm talking to this person or I'm talking to that person. A lot of people find connection in our artwork, and a lot of therapeutic conversations and therapeutic moments still present themselves whenever we are connecting with people out in the community, because our images kind of bring up a lot of feelings and emotions for people. That's the power of imagery, right?
Right.
And so people will come into our area, our booth, or even here at the studio, coming and connecting with us, and really like, oh man, this image, this figure, this piece makes me think of this time that I was with my mom. Or there was this one time there was this lady that was at our booth, and she legitimately like didn't even realize she was doing it, but she was like petting kind of one of our pieces. I know, I see that look on your face. That's kind of what I was like, okay, what's happening there?
Okay.
But she just kept kind of rubbing her, it was like a sensory thing. She was kind of rubbing her hands down it. And whenever she looked at it, she picked it up, and what it was an image of hands that were kind of like this.
Okay.
And it had water running out of them. And so I had taken some water, and it was running out of them. And she just burst into tears. And she was like, man, this piece puts me in a place of like transition and healing, and it makes me think of like how the water can wash away. And so, you know, those kind of conversations happen often when we're connecting with people and showing our art. So I don't really like miss being a therapist, or it's not like, you know, does one bring you more joy or like, oh, make your heart full over the other, because I really, our worlds are really intertwined, you know. Our art business is very therapeutic in and of itself. So yeah.
Okay.
I really can't imagine not doing either of them, to be honest with you. I'm really passionate about both of them. I think I'm passionate about healing. That's what it is.
So that would be your greatest passion, is healing?
Man, healing. Like just being able to help people find the healing within themselves. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think as a healer, and let's say you're out and about and you draw, you know, you draw people to you, like in talking or whatever it may be. You know, they may not say anything to you right then and there, but later on down the line, you might see them again, and they may say, "Hey, I remember you," and talking to you, and I want to say thank you.
Right.
You know, just talking to you really helped me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, do you ever encounter that with some people?
You know, what I encounter a lot, and what is really important to me whenever I'm communicating and hanging out and kicking it with people, is not as much like, oh man, those words that you spoke were so powerful, or like the thing that you said about this thing or that thing really brought about like change in my world and my heart. That's cool, but it's really about how people feel around me. Like that's what people remember. I want people to feel seen. I want people to feel comfortable. I want people to feel safe. And so a lot of the things that I get with people is like, oh, whenever I'm hanging out with you, it feels safe. It feels comfortable.
Yeah.
And that to me is always kind of a portal it's an open door for healing or transition to happen. Like when people feel safe and they feel seen and they feel valuable to you in the moment you're connecting with them, it's almost like they can, you know, take that mask off and just be like, oh, let me just sit this down and let me just be real with you one-on-one, you know. And so I think the power in healing comes in that connected moment of feeling seen and valuable. So yeah, people do oftentimes come back, and there really is no greater honor than being someone who's able to usher in healing whenever people are in a place of pain, or in a place of even just, not even pain, but just not being seen or valued in their own world, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think, you know, we live in a world that a lot of people feel that way. So
yeah, some people, they go through so much, and then they just want to release whatever it is that's in them, you know, and they just want somebody to hear them. Yeah. Not so much as, you know, have feedback. They just want somebody to hear them.
That's it, man. And being a therapist, I think a lot of people think that like being a mental health therapist is about giving good advice and being that solid like sounding board for people. But I'm going to challenge that narrative, and I'm going to say being a good therapist, being a good clinician is about it's about ushering people to that place of their own knowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being that person who can stand behind and support.
Yeah.
It's less about giving advice and more about empowering people to look within for the healing, because you know, Kat and I, we genuinely think and feel that you are the healer yourself.
Okay.
You know yourself better than anybody else on the planet. You know yourself better than any therapist ever will, or you know yourself better than your spouse, than your mama, than your sister, than your brother, whatever. So let's look in, let's turn in and find that healing. And so I think that's really what makes it powerful. So.
I can honestly say that by being a truck driver out here, I have encountered so many people out here. Just, it don't matter, state, wherever. I've encountered so many people, and I want to say that the one person that I've encountered, and it stands out to this day with me, and I think this was probably 2006 or so. I was in Iowa.
Okay.
I was in Iowa, and I was trying to put my XM radio antenna.
Okay.
And a guy saw me, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He was fussing. I'm like, "Okay." So he hold this pizza. Okay. So he opens up the hood of my engine, and he climbs up there, and he puts it square dead smack in the center of my tractor above my windshield. Okay. I wasn't climbing up there.
Right. I'm
like 375 pounds at that time. I am not climbing my big ass up there. Right. You know, I'm not doing that, you know. So, but that being said, he did everything, and believe it or not, all he wanted to do was just sit and talk. Yeah. That's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to sit and talk. And to this day, I don't know his name, but I can say he was from Talladega, Alabama. Okay. And he was telling me his story. And then, you know, after he told me his story, got his pizza, and he went on. That's all he wanted to do was for me to just hear him. And so I just took that as, okay.
That's it.
That's all.
I think so often that is just what people need. People need to feel like they are valued, you know. So it's that moment to moment. It's that little connection, you know. It's the I feel like, you know, at the end of life, when we're looking back and we're kind of, you know, going through those stories in our hearts of like what has made you who you are, you know. I feel like when we're looking back, it's not going to be these massive moments that, like, oh, my life was changed right then. It's the little things. It's the day-to-day. It's the connected moments where you feel grounded and you're connected and plugged into people who really feel you and understand you. Those are the moments that shift and change your life, you know? So, yeah, I love that, man.
I would say it's wild for me. I would say, because I'll get people to come up to me and be telling me stuff, and I'm like, okay. Oh, and I don't turn people away, especially if they want to, you know, talk, give whatever it is out, and I let them do it, and it doesn't bother me. Yeah. You know, it doesn't bother me at all for me to do that. Yeah. I want to say I probably experienced that more when I was in Baltimore. I'm out there on public transport, and lady comes up to me, standing at the bus stop with me. Matter of fact, Poplar Grove and Evanston. I remember that. Catching the bus. Yeah, I remember that. I'm catching the bus, and she just came up to me and just started talking to me, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. And the good thing about that is she didn't mind me asking her questions.
And you never know how powerful that is for people, right? Right. Like that, like you just stopping and slamming the brakes on your day to say, like, in this moment, even though you're a stranger, You
Yeah.
matter to me. I see you. I value the time that we are exchanging right now. It's so powerful, you know. And I think about like a lot of people have that ability to be able to communicate and do that, but you know, some people, for some people, and I think that's why sand tray is so powerful, you know, and what we do with creating our images and our figures. It's like some people don't have those words. Some people don't have that ability to connect verbally, right? And so sand tray is really a powerful tool because for those people who do not have that ability to really kind of connect and get things off their chest or off their mind, you know, this is another really creative tool to be able to express your feelings and your thoughts and your heart and what's going on with you in a way that when words fall short, you know, they say like a picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you walk into a sand tray therapist office and you might not have 1,000 words, but they might have a whole, you know, bunch of figures or images up on their shelves, if you will. Their setup, their sand tray setup, and you're like, oh, I can't tell you how I'm feeling, but I know that this figure, this image right here says it all.
Right.
Know? So it's either way, whether we're talking and connecting or using creative avenues to talk and connect, at the end of the day, people need to be seen and heard and valued. You know?
I think with that being said, sometimes I look at it as being two. I look at it as being two different ways.
Okay.
Like a person may have a comfort in telling a stranger about what transpired in their life,
Sure.
as opposed to a person wanting to know and feel comfortable that what they say is not going to go nowhere else.
Right.
You know, so I look at it as two different
I
ways.
can understand
So
that.
some people want to know, like they'll be like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know you. Like, I'm not going to tell you nothing.
Right. Like rolling up into a therapist office or whatever. Like, you don't have that, right? And I think that is, I think that really falls back on the clinician themselves. Like, what is your skill set at making sure that people feel comfortable around you?
Right.
And people feel like you are a safe human to, like, you know, open up to and connect with. And so I think that if you've got a really good clinician, then they know how to make sure that you feel safe, you know, or even like making sure that they are establishing that relationship and that connection with you. That's imperative in my opinion as a clinician. Like, it's important for me to spend the first couple of sessions typically just getting to know them.
Yeah.
Like not even therapeutic stuff. Like if it comes up, cool, but you know, let's just get you to a place that you know that my heart is here for you to heal. You know?
Even that goes for, like, to me, I guess, any kind of relationship.
Fair.
Friendships.
Yeah.
You know, you got, I call it pigeon feeding.
Yeah.
Where people will give you a little bit at a time to see how you do with it.
Yeah.
And they'll fall back. So, like, my good friend that passed away, his name is Vincent. And with him and I became friends at work and even after work. And best of friends, me and him. And over the course of time with him, it was like he would open up and tell me a little bit more about him.
Yeah.
A little bit more about him. Because by us, you know, working together and everything, and me, I'm a social person.
Sure.
I talk with any and everybody. But when it comes down to you telling me about what matters to you the most, you know what I mean? That's personal or whatnot. You're not gonna hear that nowhere else. You're not gonna say, "Oh, Yvette said."
Right. Yeah.
So, as time went on, he let me know that I had to test you to, you know, to